Welcome to Devlog number 7 for a space game that my buddy Rich and I are working on. We're about a month and a half into development, and I want to show you a new little feature we added this week. We're approaching Asteroid Base 1. That's not really the name. Flipping the ship around to do a retro burn. What's going to happen when we get inside? The top fades away. Quite excited about this feature. First time adding any sort of space station to the game. This is still gray box concept phase. Not totally happy with all the art inside, but it's enough to get an idea of how it's going to work. Let me see if I can simulate a little docking procedure over here. Say we're coming in to complete a mission, drop off some goods, report for duty. Line her up. Yeah, I don't have a sound effect for that yet. But then dialogue pops up. We drop off the cargo, buy some stuff, whatever we're doing. Retract the docking collar and start moving out. Pretty excited about getting bases in this game. Obviously, bases are going to be the main hub for mission-related activities. Now, in the spirit of game jam and showing you guys incomplete work, this is a ship that's actually being designed by a community member who's volunteered to design a ship for us. He goes by the handle Milkman. He's a very talented modeler. I'll link his art station in the video description. He kind of reminds me of myself back when I was in college. This is pretty much exactly what I was doing. And the final ship, it's not final yet, but it will be a military cargo transport, and it's going to be key to the main demo mission that we're trying to design that'll showcase most of the basic features of the game. Now, Rich has also been hard at work at our radar in the lower left corner. We can zoom it in, zoom it out now, and it renders asteroids, which is such a cool update. It also shows the ship trajectory with that little green line, so I can actually plan my course ahead of time, avoiding asteroids. This is absolutely essential to this sort of top-down, up-close, fast gameplay. We need to be able to navigate. Also, it's pretty cool, but we get the inside of the asteroid station rendered too, so if we have any sort of more complex interiors, that'll be rendered on the minimap nicely. We will be looking at rendering asteroids with more of an outline stencil type shader later, but this is sort of the first iteration. Now, another community member, Uriah, who I talked about quite a bit in last devlog, who's kind of been helping us with a lot of the technical art of the project, built us another really cool shader that does two things. When we get close to an asteroid, we have a little proximity pulsing warning that will actually show the collision point for that asteroid. It was hard to actually judge where we would bump into asteroids because of the sort of 45-degree angle camera, and I find that this helps. I don't know if this is the final look that we're going for, but he built us a very flexible shader that we can change and have it do a lot of things. Now, the other stage of this shader is quite cool, a bit more complicated, but if we're going around the backside of the asteroid, it starts to give us a radial opacity effect, and the proximity pulse still works on the backside, so we can use it to avoid asteroids on the backside. Again, I don't know how close any of those visuals are to the final look. We're playing around with them right now, but it is really cool. There's a lot of ways to solve navigational issues in this game, and this is just one of the approaches we're testing right now. Again, huge shout out to Uriah. He also helped me with the opacity effect for fading out the top of the space station. He's working on his own Mars FPS game, and I'll just leave a link to his YouTube channel also if you want to check out his work. Honestly, I think you're going to be hearing about him in the future once his game gets further along in development. So we've definitely been jamming with the game here, really trying to push towards our first proof of concept demo, and one of the steps to get there is doing ship collision damage, which Rich has added to the game, and I've got a little demo sound effect set up for it, which we'll add in as we build out the mechanics. You can sort of listen to what I got here. I've been kind of poking around in Unreal Engine 5's MetaSounds to get a better understanding of it, and I've been building out some fairly simple sound effects now that modulate things like the pitch of a sound effect, or they randomly add in an extra layer to mix things up. It's kind of a cool tool. It really is the future of game audio. I just got to figure out how to use it a little better so I can have like one audio system create 10 sound effects depending on the parameters that we add into it. It's pretty neat. Rich also got our very first player death mechanic implemented into the game. It's still very early, bit buggy, needs a lot more particle and sound effects work from me. But we do have a death state now in the game, which I'm excited about. Now, one of the bigger accomplishments from last week was getting AI Navmesh to work on a ship. I don't know how this works. I know that Rich had to do some trickery to get it working. So I'm going to let him explain what he went through to get AI ships to navigate around asteroids.
The simplest way I would describe a Navmesh is that it keeps track of everywhere a ship could be. When you combine this with a search algorithm, you can determine the most efficient path to any location without running into anything. We didn't want to build our own Navmesh system, so we're going to use Unreal's built-in Navmesh system. The big challenge with that is that Unreal's Navmesh system was designed with gravity in mind, so it likes characters running around on the ground or cars driving around on roads. It doesn't account for things drifting in space with zero gravity. So in order to work with that still, we're basically generating a huge flat landscape underneath everything, and then Unreal can use that as sort of an imaginary floor to generate the Navmesh.
So as Rich and I have been progressing through this game and learning Unreal Engine 5 for the first time, we're trying to get a taste of just about every single system in the game that we'll need to manipulate down the road and get the very basic functionality working so that we can at least come back into it later and learn more and upgrade them and implement new features and whatnot. But I will admit it's become quite daunting with just the amount of things we've had to learn. The list is growing every single day. And Rich came up with a good idea, which was to break up our demo concept into 3 demos. The first proof of concept demo would be basically a missile mine level that focuses on asteroid navigation, ship controls, and just getting from a couple different objectives around the map. Once we can dial that in, it'll let us move on to the next phase of the demo, which is really good. It helps consolidate what we're working towards to a slightly smaller goal rather than jumping around to all these different aspects of the game. So I'm excited to push for that first proof of concept. I'm not sure how far away we are, probably not too far, but there's still a bit of work that we need to do with some of the ship navigational controls and stuff like that. And from there, we're going to move on to ship combat, which I'm really excited about. Now, if you guys want to follow along with this dev process a little more closely, you can join us on Discord. That's where we met most of our collaborators that we're working with right now. A lot of people have been super helpful, giving us feedback along the way in what we shouldn't be doing, how to approach new challenges. It's been an awesome community. I think we've got like over 600 people there right now. So check the link in the video description, join our Discord, come by, say hello. And I'm excited to show you guys what we've accomplished by next week. This has been a really fun project for me. I hope you guys have been enjoying these weekly devlogs. They come out every Friday in case you were wondering, and I'm going to try and keep up that pace for as long as possible. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to check out the first devlog we did where we talk about the game's overall concept, you can find that right here. I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap signing off.